Welcome to Voices in the Wilderness, conversations about church and leader health. We thank you so much for listening. We encourage you to keep the conversation going. Voices in the Wilderness is brought to you by Preparing for Amazement Ministries, where we empower and equip churches and leaders to create lasting and transformational health. Visit amazed15.org to learn more. We also welcome any comments or suggestions. Simply email us at podcast@amazed15.org. My name is Marcus Carlson, and today our guest is Erick Liona. Welcome, Erick.
Hey, hello, Marcus. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you again. We're recording a couple episodes about our international ministry to keep folks updated, and so our international ministry kind of includes really three pieces. One where we go and train leaders in areas that there's not access to education or training, whether from poverty or being remote or all of the above, and then eventually train the trainers so we can multiply. And then we have an educational program where we help pastors in developing areas earn degrees in the United States. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then hopefully the third area we develop are kind of some internships and partnerships where we develop relationships between churches. So, you've been on the podcast a number of times. So
Yeah.
you maybe just briefly tell us about yourself, but then really tell us about your educational journey and your hopes for ministry.
Yes. So my name is Erick Liona, based here in Nairobi, Kenya. So a little bit about my education journey. Of course, I grew up and I was born in Kibera slums in Nairobi. So of course, I just went through the normal schooling until I was able to do my undergraduate. But just besides that, I've been heavily involved in just our community. Through ministry, I've been helping our local church and also just social ministries around here in Kibera. So, and then at a time, it reached a time that I really felt there was really need for me to just get some educational training on just purely theological grounding and just to understand theology and just divinity. And so for me, when this opportunity came to do my masters, I saw this was really a step towards the right direction because this is now what I needed to be able to now serve my community better.
Awesome. Yeah, and just so the listeners know, or those that are watching, we
Yeah.
have a partnership with Kairos University, which I have a relationship with as is faculty liaison and faculty mentor, and we're able to through our ministry have folks outside of the country earn master's degree, masters of divinity, masters of leadership or Christian ministry, as well as potentially other degrees down the road for really just a sponsorship of $100 a month, which, if you're thinking about the normal cost of seminary, that's a really big difference. And so Erick is a part of one of two people that are piloting this program as we look to get more sponsorship. So how has been being a part of that partnership with Kairos allowing you to earn a master's from a U.S. seminary? How's that been helpful to you so far?
So first of all, it's a very big opportunity because I don't think I would be able to, as you know, the normal just cost of seminary is huge, even here in Kenya. I don't think I would be able to maybe even do this degree. So I think for first of all, it's just a good opportunity, and of course, the way Kairos is just structured has been really been like it has really directly affected my ministry here in Kenya because the way Kairos is structured is it's competence based and it's based on outcomes that we create and so it's been really helping me to serve my local community hands on because it's not like a rigid curriculum. It's very open and flexible based on the needs of anyone around the world. So it's this has been helpful, and I've just been able to just have a global I've just been a global mindset on various concepts that I didn't know just from just reading the books and just of course the various articles. You get to understand how other people are thinking outside my just normal context here in Kenya.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
really cool. I mean, because it's all contextual. So you're doing stuff that you can use in your ministry and that, fits in your context in Kenya. And so that's been really, really important for sure. And just having access to these resources. And if I remember correctly, most seminaries in Kenya, not only are they
Mm,
expensive, but you have to move to the seminary, which makes it
exactly.
difficult to provide for your basic expenses, or if you have a family, to provide for your family. And so there's not a lot of people in Kenya going to seminary, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's true. There's for if you want to join, you have to move there, and it's most of our seminaries are in very remote areas, so you have to live there for like almost 4 years, and it's not easy because you're not being paid. You're not There's no other income, so you just have to. It's another additional expense that you have to fend for yourself, and you have to. So if you don't have any other income from maybe family, it proves a challenge.
Yeah, and so that's why we love being able to do this, and I think that's the case across a lot of Africa, and certainly
Yeah.
other places. So how do you see this program helping other leaders across Kenya, across Africa, across the world?
Of course, just access to quality education, because that's the main part. Because if we are able to enable people, because people are not able to access education because, of course, of the cost, and just that's the accessibility. By this partnership bridges that gap by just ensuring that we'll have so many leaders here in Kenya that have the zeal. They'll get to be educated, and of course they will serve their communities better, because of course education and knowledge is power, and of course it causes transformation. So this partnership, that it will have a direct impact, especially in Africa, where, of course, the literacy levels and just access to education is really limited. So, if this program scales, we'll have so many ministers, so many church leaders that have access to really quality and high-end education, and by that we'll have a direct ripple effect of the communities that they serve will be really served better.
And
Yeah.
for these pastors that get this education, it can in a lot of ways help them and their family, kind of escape poverty, and again educate their congregation members, and
Mm.
if churches be a source of education. I know lots of churches are doing primary schools and things like that because education is power, and so it expands all of that ministry, it seems.
Yeah, yeah. It will cause a ripple effect. Yeah.
For sure. So, again, like I said, our this program, we've got a waiting list of people, not just in Kenya, but around the world, but certainly a lot in Africa, and so, really, we have the means in terms of the time, because our team works with folks, but really, what we're looking for is sponsors, and so, it's $100 a month sponsorship, which is not a small amount, but is not a huge amount for many people. What would you say to encourage others to support this work?
If you support this work, you're really betting on people, and you're really directly just betting on and just propagating the work of God through ensuring that we have leaders that have quality education, leaders that think right, have clarity, leaders that have been trained. Because if you are not trained, you'll lead your congregation in another way. So if you are trained right, you become better and you lead better, and that's what we want people to help us do. So yeah, if you're watching, please support this work because it is needed, it is timely, and it will really bridge that gap of, because most of if it's not maybe directly proportional, but a big chance of leaders that are not trained, they sometimes tend to lead in a very unhealthy way. So if we have leaders that are trained well, we are reducing the chances of course, just congregations and churches that uh, uh, become unhealthy. So support this work and give so many people like me a chance to just access quality education and really lead our communities better. Yeah.
Awesome, Eric. Thanks so much for being here again and for sharing about this. Again, this is one of two active parts of our international ministry with preparing for amazement. The first is going to places to do training, and the second, this, of course, providing pastors with a seminary degree. And the third one we're developing over time is kind of partnerships, collaborations, kind of internships and visits. And if you have questions, you can always visit our website, amazed15.org. You can click on support to support. You can click on our ministries to learn about more about our international ministry, and can always reach out to us with questions. So, Eric, thanks so much for your work in this and for your sharing these last couple episodes.
Thank you very much, and it was a pleasure having you around. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. We encourage you to keep the conversation going. Voices in the Wilderness is brought to you by Preparing for Amazement Ministries, where we empower and equip churches and leaders to create lasting and transformational health. Visit amaze15.org to learn more. We welcome also any comments or suggestions. Simply email us at podcast@amazed15.org.